10 volleyball campaign begins tonight in Ann Arbor at Cliff Keen Arena as the number 25 Michigan Wolverines, following a successful 8-2 non-conference portion of the schedule, host the Purdue Boilermakers. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rob Kroll. Welcome to tonight's match as we are about to begin. Purdue will begin with a serve. Now Michigan's passes it around. Now Purdue sends it back over. And they send it down with a kill. As Purdue starts off the match with a point. Catlin to serve again. 1-0 serving Purdue. Catlin sends it over. There's Stevens, passes it there. Fielder with a kill. Nice dig there by Catlin. Now Sesniak plays it there for the Wolverines. Set there for Stevens. She sends it over. Nice save there by Ebert. Good block at the net by Fielder. Now Purdue works it. And it's a point Purdue. 2-0 Purdue early on. Catlin again to serve for the Boilermakers. Catlin sends it over the net. Ebert sends it there to Penger. And a nice spike there by Jane Stevens. Stevens to serve for Michigan. They trailed 2-0 in the opening game. Stevens sends it over. Purdue passes it there. Oh, there's a nice kill there by Chase from Pittinger. And Michigan gets their first point of the match. 1 serving 2. Here's Stevens for Michigan, sends it over. Good dig there by Ebert. Rather, Pittinger. And it's side out Purdue. Bev Krupa to serve for the Boilermakers. She's been a force for the Boilermakers lately. Chase tried to kill his block there at the net by the Boilermakers. Here's Chase one more time. Blocked at the net by the Boilermakers, but they gain control. Good job by Fielder. She sends it back over. Well, they collide at the net there. Purdue sets it up. Good block there by Fielder and Sesniak. Purdue sends it over. Sesniak sets it back to Chase when she kills it. And it's side out Michigan. They trail 2-1 to the Boilermakers. And Joanna Fielder to serve for the Wolverines. Fielder sends it over. Good block at the net by Lindsay Ebert, the 6-foot senior out of Fowlerville. And we have a tie game, 2-2, as Fielder serves it one more time. Joanna Fielder sends it over the net. And Joanna Fielder gets an ace. And Michigan takes its first lead of the game, 3-2. Fielder again to serve for the Wolverines. Fielder sends it over to the net. And a nice kill there by Chase. And it's 4-2. Karen Chase with a couple big spikes for the Wolverines. Joanna Fielder to serve again. She sends it over the net. Purdue passes it around. Blocked there at the net by Michigan. Sesniak tried to tap it over. She does. Purdue sets it up. Good one-handed effort there. But Purdue gets the side out. Paul to serve for the Boilermakers. Here's Paul, she sends it over. And Sesniak lets it go, and that's a good decision. Sits out, side out Michigan. Michigan makes some subs now. Number 12, Shannon Melka, the freshman, in for Chase. And number 18, Ann Pogleton. Melka with a left-handed serve. Purdue sends it over the net. Here's Melka, sets it over to Poglitz. She spikes it down. Nice dig there, and Poglitz kills it. Point Michigan, and it's 5-2. Into the back corner by Lindsay Ebert. And it's a point Michigan, 6-2, and Purdue takes its first timeout. Boilermakers enter the Big Ten play with a 6-3 record, but they are still looking for their first road win of the season. And it won't come easy as Purdue has dropped 3 straight matches to Michigan. Purdue's last win versus the Wolverines came on October 26, 1996. On the other side of the net, last week Michigan took second place in the Domino's Pizza Classic in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Michigan is 8-0 thus far against non-ranked opponents. 6-2 here in the first game of the match. Shannon Melka, the freshman, to serve for Michigan. Melka sends a left-handed serve over the net. Purdue passes it around. And it's a point Michigan. There's an attack error. Melka to serve again, 7-2.
That one put right down on the line. And the difference between that spike and the one before is you can see on the service return from the serve, it hit the setter right in stride. She was able to set up the play, and the attacker had an easy line to the ball and perfect timing. Just like Michigan showed right there out of the corner is Nicole Kaser, the big 6-foot freshman out of Chicago, just uses the block effectively and knocks it out of bounds. Michigan side out, Janine Cesniak to serve. Cesniak, 3-year varsity starter from Evergreen Park, Ohio, or Illinois. She knows what it takes to get a win here. Team up by 5, sends it towards the back line. Another good forward pass off the block. Cesniak in perfect position. And Michigan caught on their heels with that one. Michigan caught on their back heels. I don't know if they were aware of what play they were running there, but Purdue was all over that one. Double block, read it perfectly. X play, and Michigan sneaks one over the net. Lindsay Ebert just able to tap it down, and Purdue, big hole in the middle, and they find themselves still trailing 7-2, and they got to get a momentum swing here, or else they're in deep trouble. Ebert, long serve. That one looked like it was going out. Purdue team sends it back. That one dropped on the line. I still say side out Purdue. All right, the refs got that one dead wrong. I'm a lot higher up than they are. That one was not in. It was right on the line. Michigan should catch a break here. They get a point. And the Purdue bench seems to be satisfied with the call, and I have no idea why. They got a legitimate gripe with this one. Ebert, service error. Got to be careful. Can't get too comfortable. The Wolverines are up 6. But again, game is to 15. They got a long way to go. her right hand out of bounds. And again, the referees don't seem to be calling it. To give this point to Michigan is just a travesty. It's not a personal thing I have against the Wolverines, but seriously, that ball is off of the hands of Jane Stevens. Stevens stands 5'9". She's from Honolulu, Hawaii. Hopefully she's not still on Pacific time. Big mistake over there. Two Purdue Boilermakers, Colleen Hennikin, number 2, and number 4, Sarah Emke. Both went after that one, and again, their backcourt passing. First hit is very important. They got to set her up in order for her to make a good set to the outside hitters, and they just haven't had any continuity in their offense thus far. Michigan doing a good job setting the ball well, but you got to give Purdue credit. Their front line has been all over the place, and they're up and their hands are together, and they're doing a great job blocking. Be interested to see the first game stats of this one. That's how Purdue is doing. Jane Stevens, the resident Hawaiian, serves it up. Sure, she's been involved in a lot of beach games out there on the beautiful shores of Oahu. That one was put down hard by Karen Chase. It's really easy to put some balls down hard when you stand 6'1". Again, backcourt pass for Purdue. This time they executed well. Good positioning. Lindsay Ebert in good spot. And that one was just a little too strong from the back line. As Stevens puts a little bit too much mustard, not enough topspin. Boilermakers set to serve. Bev Kruppa. Is it over gently? All the way across court. Purdue read that one like a book. Here comes Sesniak. Sesniak from the outside. Off the block of Hennikin. And Michigan scores another side out. Joanna Fielder was set to serve. She comes out. It's a wise substitution. Nicole Queso, 6-foot freshman. Obviously a better backline player than the middle blocker. Set handled very well by Paul. Did a great job. Set up her blocker. And now Paul to serve. Puts it out. Ebert, quick feet. Gets on up. But block. She tried to avoid the block and it kicked it just a little bit outside. And Purdue fighting back 9-3. They haven't given up yet. They need to get about a string of 4 or 5 points together in order to keep this game in check. Don't want to let it get away from them too early. I don't know if I've introduced myself yet, but my name is Brent Leader. I did arrive a little late to the game. I'm going to blame it on the earthquake. And for those of you people who weren't aware, we did have an earthquake today in the state of Michigan. So, weirder things have happened. Earthquakes in Michigan, 9-3 leads evaporate. Who knows? Purdue hoping they can provide another earthquake, and that one looked like it just hit off Karen Chase. She felt the tremors. And that one goes out of bounds. 9-5 Purdue, 3 straight points. And Paul still serving. He's got a run going. For some of you who played volleyball yourselves, you notice that the servers are moving all the way along the back line. That rule was established there in, I think, early 1996, and it changes the look of a lot of the service, a lot of the receiving of the serves. So the backline players who are used to seeing the ball come across court are now seeing it come backwards. Different types of spin. These girls have had a few years to get used to it, but it's still got to be a little crazy every now and then. Good set. Emke caught with her hand behind her ear, and that one had to send out of bounds. Michigan set to serve. Shannon Melka, the setter, serves it a little long, and Michigan another service there, giving Purdue a chance to get back into this ballgame. Schweitzer. Great defense on the back line. over in the corner by Schweitzer. She's the reserve setter, and she's in for backline defense. You saw why there. But Michigan does get the ball back. Cesniak back behind the line to serve. That one floats over the net nicely. Knuckleball. And Michigan takes it in the back line. Ebert again with a vicious skill. Stevens, little dink into the back line. Michigan sets up the defense. And it goes right through Janine Cesniak like she wasn't even there. Nice kill from Purdue. Colleen Anakin with that one. Great dig by Cesniak. She comes right back with a good defensive play. And a powerful shot from number 8, Bev Kruppa. She averages just over 4 kills a game, and you can see why. Any more kills, and we're going to have a multiple homicide on our hands. So Michigan, once led comfortably in this game, are now leading only 10-6. Boilermakers showing some heart, haven't given up. Ebert, great play. That's the responsibility of the back line. They got to keep an eye on their blockers just to make sure they don't get caught up in the air, as Ebert did. Caught Purdue there. Big hit from the corner. Now Emke, Junior. Serve from the far left side. Cross court. Cesniak, nice pass. Beautiful set. And you see what happens. Bump, set, spike. It's a really basic game once you get down to it. There isn't much else there. If you can execute it properly, it looks pretty cool. Short serve. Back set. Cesniak hits it back over the net. Free ball for Purdue. Nice play by Joanna Fielder. Quick hands. And Michigan just sort of battling. Purdue has Michigan on their heels. But look at the Wolverines get up and block. Great volley you're seeing right here. And from the corner into the back line, that's Karen Chase for you. 6'1" from Orinda, California. And the Wolverines lead it now 11-6. And Purdue has to take a timeout. And Coach Giovanizzi has to be really, really happy with the performance of his team thus far. Just to remind you, you're watching WOLV. It's the dorm's only connection to Michigan sports. And for those of you sitting in your overheated 12-by-12 cubicles, just like to say hello, I've been there once before. But don't feel bad. It only gets worse. I want to talk more about this earthquake we had here. Just a quick little survey. If you did hear the earthquake or feel it, rattle your TV sets. There really was an earthquake. Rob doesn't believe me, but trust me, there was. Registered about 5.3, and the epicenter was in Youngstown, Pennsylvania. We felt it all the way out here. I don't know what the damage was out in the Adirondacks, but the newsroom was running crazy, let me tell you that. Traffic was awful, and I apologize for the late arrival to this game. And it looks like the Purdue Boilermakers had a late arrival to this game, because all of a sudden, it's a whole different team out there in the gold jerseys. Taryn Catlin. Interesting stat, she was named to the Wyoming Cowgirl Classic All-Tournament team after totaling 92 assists. How often are you in Wyoming to get named to an all-tournament team? Not too often. That's an impressive stat. And Michigan with a quick side out, and Stevens set to serve. Jane Stevens with her team up by 5. It's a good spot to put it away here. Powerful front line for Michigan on this exchange. set from Purdue, easy to handle. And Cesniak off the block. Nice dig. That one a little long. And Karen Chase, a little late on her jump. Inside out Purdue. Bev Krupa back behind the line, ready to serve. Handled nicely. And again, Michigan tries to get Chase involved on the left corner. Nice job. Set was a little bit into the net, but Karen Chase improvised nicely. And Michigan gets the ball back to serve. Throws it high, lets it fly. I know that's kind of cheesy, but I just wanted to say it at least once. Chase playing huge over on that left side. She gets up, puts a couple of paws on the ball, and knocks it to the Cliff Keen Arena floor. Michigan up 12-6. And Fielder ready to go again. Just want to put these in. You're not looking for aces at this point in the game. You're up by 6. You just want to let Purdue make the mistakes. I kind of look very smart right now, don't I? Purdue's got to do a better job of communicating. They're in the I got it, you got it mode, and Michigan's just capitalizing, scoring 2 points off of Purdue misplays in the backcourt. Comes Fielder again. Purdue changed the setup a little bit. Free ball. That's a lift. And a nice call by our referee. And again, tried to cheat, but she got caught. And Fielder serving for the game. Cliff Keen Arena fans, the dozens of them out here are on their feet. Nice serve by Fielder, just want to put it in. Kept alive, nicely by the server. And Chase from the corner. Again! And only fitting that Karen Chase drive the final nail into the coffin of the Purdue Boilermakers here in Game 1. And the Wolverines take it handily, 15-6. Not a bad, impressive showing here. And the band played on.
Welcome back to Cliff Keen Arena as Michigan dominated that first game. This is Rob Kroll in for Brent as he had to run and make a phone call. But he will be right back and I will do my best as I converted from doing the hockey announcing to volleyball. Karen Chase almost single-handedly took care of the Purdue Boilermakers that game as she had 8 kills. Karen Chase with an outstanding performance on that left side as Michigan will look to continue to feed her the ball for this second game. Aaliyah Pittenger, the serve for the Michigan Wolverines in the second game. And Pittenger sends it over. Purdue passes it around. Pittenger with a nice dig there. Set up to Chase, and guess who gets a point for Michigan? None other than Karen Chase. Pinzer with her second serve, and there's a serving error as the ball went just to the right of the line. Catlin to serve for the Boilermakers. Catlin sends it over. Michigan sets it up there. Ebert sends it over. Tapped around at the net. Set there to Chase. Chase pass blocked there at the net. Now here's the Wolverines at the line. Fielder sends it down. Nice dig there by Catlin. The Boilermakers send it back over. Cesniak with a nice dig. Back to Karen Chase, and she sends a kill as Brent walks back into the studio. Nice to see you, Brent, and I will send it back over to Brent.
So I took a short little walk, and I came to this conclusion. The Boilermakers got to do something to stop Karen Chase. She has been destroying them from that corner position. And looks like Purdue is going to try to attack from the left side on their own. But that's probably what they talked about in between games, is what are we going to do about this Karen Chase character? Quick set, 2-ball, as Fielder puts it down. Quick timing play. Cesniak helps it over the net and gets us a swerve.
They were over on the right-hand side of the net thinking that ball was going to go to Chase.
That's what I'd be thinking. Michigan handling the Boilermakers fairly easily, sticking to their game plan. They're just moving the ball outside, putting a big-time block there. Colangelo just tried a short little dink over the head of Karen Chase, and the Boilermakers get the ball back. Connie Paul set to serve. Floats it back. Fielder has trouble handling this. Stevens sends it up. Cesniak puts the free ball over the net, and Purdue gets an easy shot to set up an offense. Tried to take advantage of it there. Quick set to Williams, but it's dug out nicely. And Chase off the block and out of bounds. Side out Michigan. And back into the game comes number 18, Ann Poglitz. Poglitz from my hometown, West Bloomfield, Michigan. I didn't know her back there. She went to Livonia Ladywood. I went to West Bloomfield High School, so we just sort of missed each other. It's a shame. Looks like she'd be a great person to know. Moving on. Back across the other side of the net. Purdue set to serve. This is Colangelo. Cesniak puts it back, and Lindsay Ebert puts it down. Bump, set, spike. I come back to it all the time because it's the foundation of volleyball. Piece of cake. Cesniak from the rafters puts it across the net. Outside hit. The Wolverines are all over that. And Ann Poglitz, showing all of us in West Bloomfield how it's done, puts it down back on the ground. And Cesniak serving for another point. Cleanup duty done in the corner. That one is long. And Purdue will get a shot back. Ebert tried to sneak one by Purdue. Same on the other side for the Boilermakers. They tried to sneak one by the Wolverines. Poglitz just a little late. Puts it into the top of the net, and Purdue is on the scoreboard. Colleen Hennigan serving from the back. Big set. Back line is Stevens. Off the block. Cesniak picks it up. Stevens from the outside. Great play. Fabulous play by Taryn Catlin, just reacting to the ball and directing it in the direction of the net. And for her, it happened to go over and found a good spot. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. In that case, she was both. Free ball again. And Purdue trying to set something up. Setter's error on that one. Ebert tried to push the ball across, couldn't do it. And Purdue takes their first lead of the contest, 3-2. They are trailing 1-0, dropping the first one 15-6. And here is Hennigan again. Poglitz from the corner finds more blue than gold, and Purdue gets another point. Purdue gets another point here. Michigan's going to have to call a timeout just to stop this momentum, because Colleen Hennigan serving great. Boglit's deep. And let's see, this would be a good time to take a break. But Coach Giovanizzi doesn't think so. Team trailing 5-2. That's Michigan volleyball. Lindsay Ebert pops up in the center and puts it right through the heart of the Purdue Boilermakers.
Side out for Michigan as it stops the Boilermakers' momentum.
Wolverines trailing 5-2. Ebert with the serve. Set to the corner. Knew where that one was going. Stevens got a paw on it. Knocked it out of bounds. Side out Purdue. Nice spike from Williams. Used the block. Jenny Williams, a sophomore. Did a nice job. Boglitz found a big hole and just put the ball through it. And Michigan sends a couple of subs in. And much to the dismay of Purdue, here comes Karen Chase. Quick serve. Nice dig from Colangelo. Big spike. And Cesniak had a tough time handling that one. And it's a side out. That ball was moving right there. And Cesniak cleaning the ground. She can dig, she can set, she can spike, she can clean. This Michigan team is just full of talents, let me tell you. And I'm not being sarcastic, I'm just trying to be funny. I don't know if it's working. Catlin with the serve. Michigan goes right back to Karen Chase. She's been the bread and butter of this match so far. And a big hit from Fielder. Right on the front line. And Joanna Fielder, standing 6'2" out of Costa Mesa, California, puts that ball down. Michigan needs to get some points here. Doing a good job side out. They're trailed by 3. They lead 1-0 over the Purdue Boilermakers. Nice play by Duncan. Chase from the outside. And this time Purdue was ready. With her arms up in the air is number 14, Kelly Colangelo. She knew where the ball was coming from, and she took away the line. And Chase just had nowhere else she could put that ball. So give credit to Colangelo. She got her arms up. And here comes Megan Peterson to serve. Enters for some defensive help as well. Off the wrist to Cesniak. Ran down nicely by Pittenger. And give her some credit there. She had to go deep to the left side. She put the ball in a great spot. And Cesniak was able to put it down. Fielder set to serve. She serves. A nice swing on the outside. That was Colleen Hennigan. Nice job. And Michigan just can't seem to get some points on the board. They're doing a good job of getting the side outs. They're just not converting them into points. And Michigan looking for another side out. And they don't do it this time. Ebert's spike comes right back into the face of Janine Cesniak. She tried to get a hand on that one and knocked it out of bounds. And Purdue now leads it by 4, 6-2. Nice pass from Cesniak. And Ebert puts it down. Great play from Lindsay. And Michigan did a good job on that one. Here come a couple of fresh arms on the front line. Front line now looks like this for Michigan. Cesniak, Ebert, and Poglitz. Serving is number 12 Shannon Melka. And fielders in the back to help out. Cesniak just had a wide open court. Took a big patch of yellow and just aimed for it. And Michigan finally gets a point on the board after after being stuck at 2 for an eternity. And Melka puts another one over the net. That's all she wants to do at this point. And Williams off the block of Poglitz. And Kelly Colangelo has the rock in her hand. She serves. Team up 6-3. Across the net. And Cesniak with a great dink. She had 3 people up in her face. She said, should I go through them? Thought better of it and just decided to go over. Good thinking. That's the type of play that comes with experience. Mentioned before. 4-year starter. Senior out of Evergreen Park, Illinois. Ever been to Evergreen Park?
No, I haven't. Been to Illinois.
Where in Illinois?
Chicago and Springfield. But never to Evergreen.
I have a couple relatives out in Highland Park and Deerfield area. I don't know how far away that is from Evergreen Park. No, actually I haven't. I have never been there. I was just kind of curious. Obviously they grow some good volleyball players out there at Evergreen Park, Illinois, as Janine Cesniak has been proven all 4 years. Some in the water. Great swing from the outside, but the Wolverines up in the face of number 8, Bev Kruppa. And Kruppa, second time's a charm. It was scene 1, take 2. Just a bit different result in the finale with that one. And the Wolverines trail 7-3. Hennigan serves it to the back line. Set from Melka. Spike from Poglitz. Side out for Wolverines. And Lindsay Ebert is set to serve. Quick dink. Melka in perfect position. And Joanna Fielder off a couple of Boilermakers and out of bounds, side out. Oh, excuse me, point for the Wolverines.
Does Fielder even have to jump when she spikes the ball?
Oh no. Stands 6'2". And the net's only about 7.5 feet. She doesn't look like she has T-Rex arms. I think she can just reach and go over the net. But jumping helps. It gives her a height advantage, which is what this game's all about, right, Rob?
Jumping? I definitely couldn't spike a ball over a 7-foot net, that's for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I can't jump. Can you?
I can jump. Played some volleyball back in the day. That's halfway decent. That one had some pepper on it. You saw Hennigan's arms just jolt backwards. I think it had something to do with the velocity on that volleyball. Coming up, circle play. Jane Stevens just put it right into the arms of the Boilermakers, and they put it back down. Got a break in the action. Michigan trails at 8-4 here in game number 2 on WOLV. This game's just been a bit different story. The Wolverines just haven't been able to get their offense in gear. They get the serve, and they just haven't been able to convert it into many points this game. Last game, the story was Karen Chase from the left corner. And on this one, they just haven't been able to do it. Taking a look at the stats here. In the first game, and I'm just looking around, and I'm seeing that the Purdue attack percentage in the first game was a pathetic 136. Michigan, on the other hand, was at 326. Those were batting averages. One guy would be making about $4 million, the other would be making a quick bus trip back to AA. But in this game, Purdue's done a much better job executing the kills, and where that comes from is their backline passing. In the first game, they had a tough time getting the ball to their setter, which in turn makes the setter have a tough time setting up the hitters. So line has done a much better job for Purdue with the front line passing. And the Wolverines just haven't been able to get in gear, but I don't think it's any cause for panic yet. Still only 8-4. And coming out of the break, Joanna Fielder puts a big shot down. And a couple of substitutions check back into the Wolverine lineup. Pittenger waits the whistle. She got the whistle and now sends the ball across. Ball stalled over the net for a little bit. Wolverines were able to push it over. Back across. Stevens with a set. Chase with a swing. Try this one again. This one comes across the corner off the block. But Michigan called for a net violation. Well, they make up their minds. They signaled net side out Purdue, then they changed their mind. And it made me look stupid. But it was a point nonetheless for the Wolverines. Quick set. But an error on the attack. And Michigan, now with 3 quick points, has Purdue call a timeout, stop the momentum. Michigan trails only 6-8. Done a nice job coming out of the first break. And I'm sure the word on the Purdue sideline is what the heck are you doing? They had a big lead and they're just falling apart. They're getting caught back on their heels. They're not anticipating the Michigan offense. And all they got to do is just get a side out and reestablish their game. Sounds simple enough on paper.
Send the fans home early with a 3-game sweep, eh?
Wouldn't be bad. Of course, a lot of people here on hand are anticipating the big football game that's going to happen this weekend.
What game is
that? Spartans. Spartans are coming in. They're from Michigan State out in East Lansing. If you want to get there, take US 23 North to 96 West. Get off at the Mason Okemos exit. When you see a university, stop. See, my theory on Michigan State, I'm not trashing the Spartans, but here's what I think happened. Somebody's walking around a big cornfield. All of a sudden, like a field of dreams, James Earl Jones, something like that, has a great epiphany, and he says, you know, this would be a great spot for a university. And I think that's the origin of Michigan State.
The library burned down today. Both books burned. They didn't finish coloring the second one.
Yeah, I knew where that one was heading. Okay, that's enough trash talking for now. Back to volleyball. And Michigan hopes to get back into this game. It is 8-6. Kruppa had nothing she could do with that one. And Michigan, once trailed by 5, now only trailed by 1. Just want to send a big hello to Director Greg Stern. Greg, also the sports director at WOLV, doing a fabulous job over there at his little board. I don't know what all the doohickeys do, but I know that I talk into this microphone and supposedly he makes it look good on camera. We'll see. Wolverines trying to get another side out. That ball just stayed up in the air a little too long. The sidearm swing from the Wolverines didn't work, and it's a point Purdue. 9-7 here in game number 2. Bev Kruppa is serving. Outside. Free ball for the Boilermakers. And Colangelo off the Michigan block. Point Purdue. It's a great set from number 16. That is Catlin. Taryn Catlin if you're not on such a formal basis. Service there. And that's just is one thing that Purdue just cannot afford. You build some momentum, you get up by a certain amount, momentum's definitely in your favor, and you just cause a service error. Didn't even make Michigan make a side out or a point. And that's what drive coaches crazy. Little lack of concentration possibly causing the service error. Good hustle by the Wolverine front line to keep this ball alive. Back over. And Purdue gets to reset after the free ball for Michigan. And they reset in a good way from the corner, Colleen Hennigan.
What was the reason Michigan didn't get to the ball that time is, did you see the camera flash over there? I think it messed them up.
Actually, I missed the camera flash. But Michigan had showed some good hustle to keep the ball alive. Problem was they just couldn't get back up in time and set up their defense. Hennigan was beneficiary of a wide open court, and she did her job and put it down from the left corner. So Purdue up 7-10. That one I saw. That one blinded me. On the line! Karen Chase paints one out there. And it's a quick white liner for Karen Chase, a quicker side out for the University of Michigan. And the ball is now in the hands of Shannon Melka. Falling backwards. Fielder was able to put a hand on it. But another side out Purdue. And Michigan still trails 10-7. And Colangelo puts it across. Monica Sella's grunt on that serve. I heard it from up here in the broadcast booth. Wonder what it sounded like down on court level. Out of bounds. Off the Michigan block. Point Purdue. And Colangelo trying to put her team up by 5. Handled nicely by Sesniak. From the corner, Stevens put back down. There was some contact with the net. And Purdue called for the net violation. And Michigan gets a free side out. Sesniak from the blue mat. Colangelo takes it nicely. A little bit too close to the net, missed the setter. Michigan tries to capitalize, and they do. Hit from the outside. Colangelo tried to put it back across court. Wasn't able to do so, out of bounds. And point for Sesniak serves. Purdue having another, they're starting to get their backline troubles back again. Having a difficult time getting the ball to their setter. And as a result, their offense is just falling apart. And Michigan capitalizing. Scoreboard reads 9-1-1.
Right there by the front line of Michigan. Twice they stuffed the Boilermakers.
Great serve from Sesniak. Free ball. Michigan sets it up in the corner. They're loving that left side. It doesn't matter if it's Chase, if it's Ebert, or if it's Stevens. That time it was Stevens, and it's once again a 1-point game, and Purdue takes a breather. Little Nat sound for you. Referee in his nice little post. I have a theory about the referees in volleyball. I think because they're not actually on the court, they sort of get a superiority complex with the players because they're like heads and shoulders above them. I don't know if that's true or not. But not a bad job. I thought in the first game a couple of calls should have gone Purdue's way that went the Wolverines' way. Not going to complain. But all in all, if you don't talk about the officiating, they're doing a good job.
Pretty easy money for them.
kind of hard to stand on that podium for 3 games without getting down. Nice pass from the back line. Purdue set it up nicely. They sent that swing deep into the backcourt. Michigan runs into a wall of Boilermakers. And again, after the timeout, Purdue gets a quick side out. They send Colleen Hennigan to the backcourt. She's going to serve. Serves right up against the white line. Play executed very nicely. Quick set, quick spike. Purdue reacted well. And the second shot from U of M goes over the net. Colleen Paul says thank you very much and puts it back in their face. 12-10. Getting down to the nitty-gritty. First 1 to 15. Got to win by 2. That one's called out. Just a little bit deep. Crowd doesn't like it, but the Wolverines got to take a minute break. They trail by 3. Well, that's the contest that there is on everybody's mind tonight. But the state volleyball team's going to come in here October 7th. And they always provide a tough test for the Wolverines, one of the best volleyball teams in the Big Ten. But the Wolverines right now are not looking ahead to that matchup. They got Purdue staring at a 13-10 deficit right now. They're going to wind up their weekend set tomorrow night against the Fighting Illini of Illinois. The Wolverines coming out of the break, go back to that left corner. This time Purdue finds a way to stop it. Nice back pass. And a great spike. And that's Bev Kruppa. And Kruppa makes this game point. Colleen Hennigan to serve. And Michigan, big time spike from the corner. Kruppa, back down, nice dig from Fielder. Set comes up, Fielder puts it back. Trying to set something up. They spike it long, and Michigan gets a reprieve. They got to come back with 4 straight here, or else this game's over. Tough serve to handle. First ace we've seen on the broadcast today. And we'll credit that one to Lindsay Ebert, number 5 for the Wolverines. Good time for an ace. This would be a good time for a pair of aces. Nope. But out of bounds. Purdue hits it long. It's 14-12. Number 6 and number 9 come in for Purdue. That's Amy Schweitzer checking back in for some defensive help. Ebert. Serve once again. Does her job. And the front line does its job, but the block goes out of bounds. Off the left arm of Stevens. And Purdue gets a much needed side out, and once again they're going to serve for the game. This is Williams. Boilermakers stand with their hands held high. And Williams serves. Michigan with the bump. Set. That's the spike. Nice defensive play. But Purdue kicks it back off the wrist of Ebert, and they win game 2, 15-12. The series is tied, 1 apiece. And we'll be back with game 3 momentarily. Howdy-ho, everybody. Brent Leader here for WOLV Sports. We're back at the Cliff Keen Arena for the continuing saga of Michigan versus Purdue. We're playing the sport of volleyball, as you can tell. And Michigan and Purdue tied the first 2 games. They're at 1 apiece. Michigan winning game 1, 15-6 in utter domination. And they dropped game 2, 15-12. Story of game 2 was the play of Colleen Hennigan and Bev Kruppa for Purdue. Boilermakers did a great job of recovering after the beating they took in game 1 when Karen Chase, who you saw put that one down, just monopolized the front line, getting 8 kills in game 1. She's got 12 for the match, but they neutralized her attack and they held her to 4 kills. And so far today, the way Karen Chase has gone, so has the Michigan Wolverines. They start out quickly, 1-0. Sesniak finds a lot of yellow. Great hit. Swings it out from the right side and puts it straight into the corner. Nice job, and Stevens got a 2-0 lead as she's set to serve. Short serve, quick set. Stevens gets it to the front line. Into the corner. Big block and off the face of number 6, Pittenger. Bev Kruppa set to serve. Michigan tried the corner again. And Sesniak, long set to the outside. Chase can't convert. And Purdue gets on the scoreboard, 2-1. Snickers really satisfies you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Oh, it tastes so good. I'm not hungry anymore. Really, I just took 2 bites.
If you wondered why Rob wasn't saying anything, it was because his mouth was full of chocolatey caramel.
All night.
And Stevens knocks that one out of bounds. Purdue, 2 apiece.
Me having all this knowledge about volleyball, they really confused me. After they hit it into the net and they still slap each other high fives, I think they got a point or something.
It's a confusing sport. Sesniak again with a great hook. Nice play. Sesniak showing some range. She goes right, she goes left. Just goes strong up the middle. Nice job out there from the right side. Fielder puts it back. Colangelo off her back foot. Chase in her power zone. Here she comes again. Second swing had a little bit more on it than the first. Purdue handles it nicely. Sesniak, quick ball to Ebert. Great set, great spike. It was a beautiful, beautiful play. Quick 2-ball right to the middle hitter. She puts it down, caught Purdue off guard. This is Joanna Fielder. Joanna Fielder serves. Out of bounds. Michigan point. It's 4-2. Wrong. You guys are so wrong down there, it's not even funny. That call was so wrong. Back comes the Boilermakers. Again, quick set, and Ebert victimizes the Boilermakers once again. Nice job. Sesniak and Ebert got that timing plate down. Shannon Melka comes in. She's going to serve. Done a nice job serving so far. She did record 1 service there. She's done her job. That 1 foot right on the line. And the Boilermakers trailing by a point.
lot of good for your elbows when you're diving on the floor.
He said it twice. I still don't understand him.
I had to have my whole full hockey gear on.
Ah, now we're understanding. For a while, I was slightly confused. I think I knew what he meant, not what he was getting at. I don't think he was questioning the toughness of this Wolverine volleyball team, but I'm confused. Let's go to something I know about, which is a spike that just went out of bounds. That I know for sure. I also know that Michigan gets a side out and the score is tied. What the heck were you talking about?
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I was just confused.
I mean, do a lot of good.
They do, but nobody's wearing elbow pads. Ooh. Big block. Big block by Purdue. Quick hustle. Put the ball back over. Melka gets herself in the right spot. Great block from Stevens. She was called for a net violation, but still, nice job getting up really quickly. But Purdue takes the lead 5-3. This is a pivotal game. I think whoever wins this game is going to go on to win the match. I think whoever takes this game is going to take it in 4. Making the prediction now, it's on tape and it's set and recorded. Purdue up 6-3, and Coach Giovanese says, you know what, I've had enough of this. Let's have a talk. So here's my theory as to why this game's going to go 4. Michigan comes out early, all over Purdue in the first game. Purdue comes back, shows some heart. Michigan battled back in this game. They jumped out to an early lead. Michigan battled back, but Purdue put them away. And now here in game 2, both teams come out strong. Purdue at the moment has been converting on the offensive end. Michigan just hasn't had the breaks go their way as of yet. But I just have a feeling that whoever wins this game is going to have just that much more momentum. It's a pretty even keel right now. Whoever goes up 2-1, they've got the definite advantage. And I just feel that it's going to be too tough to come back. I don't think either of these teams are going to fold in the final game.
No, it seems like Purdue made some adjustments because you haven't heard Chase's name lately.
Well, they just made sure that they kept having an extra blocker on the left side. A lot of the times it's been Bev Kruppa or Amy Colangelo in the corner. And they just made sure that they didn't leave them alone, and they've cut off the angle. And they're forcing Chase to go down the line. Dink put back into the face, and the Wolverines losing 7-3. Give a little whistle. Ace from Purdue. First one for the golden jerseys, and Michigan trailing now 8-3. We've seen this before. This is the situation that happened in game 2, and they managed to come back. But Purdue doesn't show any signs of letting up right now. Wolverine stand in bowling pin formation. Nice dig, and that sounded like it hurt. Melka ends up onto the arena floor, not just the wooden gym floor, the actual silver arena floor along the outside. Big hit. Wolverines just firing at will. But Purdue stands tall, and look at the emotion on the Purdue side. That's what I'm saying. Whoever wins this game is going to carry it over into game 4. Although I've been wrong before, it's not that often.
Michigan's in jeopardy of losing to an unranked opponent. They're 8-0 against unranked opponents right now.
Big Ten contest provides tough competition, and Purdue is showing why the Big Ten is one of the best conferences in the NCAA. Nice dig from Kruppa. Back to the corner. That's Poglitz, and that's Poglitz with a little too much heat. And Purdue, 10 quick points, and the Wolverines are staring at a 7-point hole. And this is 7 in a row. This game was tied at 3. These are the types of runs that win volleyball games for you. Wolverines desperately need a side out here. Great play by Colleen Hennigan. Swung it with the left hand. And Poglitz puts it off of Hennigan's ankles. And the Wolverines get a much-needed side out. And Annie Maxwell, seeing her first action of the game, is going to serve. The reason I'm silent as of now is I just dropped something. And we're up in the broadcast booth here on the Raptors at Cliff Keen Arena. And there's a little piece of paper, so it slowed it down really slowly. I was just wondering where it was going to hit. Well, somebody just picked it up for us. That was nice of them. But the entire section was staring and pointing at us up here. So I feel thoroughly embarrassed. Great block by Joanna Fielder. Thunderous block. That's the second earthquake felt in Ann Arbor today. And now the Michigan Wolverines trail 10-5. Chief, this is Maxwell. And this is Annie Maxwell. She's ready to serve. Wearing 11 instead of 86. And it's a quick error on her part. Momentum shifts back in the direction of Purdue. Here comes Purdue to serve. That's Williams. And Fielder puts a great spot, a great spike onto the wrist of Purdue. And they get the ball back, side out, Michigan Wolverines. Here comes the Wolverines. Set to go for this one. Nice serve. Quick set. Hitter's out of position. We'll try this one again. Wolverines had a trigon up there. A full troika. Wolverines, Stevens, Chase, and Fielder. It's tough to battle through that. And the Wolverines fighting back. Purdue trying to get the ball back. That one rests on the tape for a little bit. Stevens puts it on the floor where the ball belongs. Ten to 8. And the Wolverines come back 5 straight points. Some protective headgear, which is necessary for the volleyball people who come to look at the Wolverines, especially if they're sitting underneath the press box, because I dropped something else again. And I feel bad. I don't know if that leather will help them out, but that's a Mikasa hat for you. Or a cheap toupee for a bald guy. But it's good to see fans of all ages and fashion sense appear here at Cliff Keen Arena. It's a good thing you didn't put that volleyball elsewhere. Looks like you could wear it as a diaper. The Wolverines, after 5 straight points, trying to keep this one going. This is Beanie Baby Day here at Cliff Keen Arena. Oh, great block by the Wolverines, but because nobody was able to pick that ball up, Purdue gets the ball back. 10-8. Up into the front court. Chase in the corner. Chase on the floor. Karen Chase coming with the thunder. And the Wolverines get the ball back. As Jane Stevens set to serve. Floater. Quick set, quick spike. Nice job off the block of Cesniak. Purdue with a set play for the side out. Serve. Fielder. Spiked it down. Nice job by the setter there. Colleen Paul. Great job. She battled the net and was able to fight that one off and put it away. But it don't really matter because Karen Chase put the ball back into the face of Purdue. And we're back again where we started, side out Michigan. This one's 10-8. It's looking a lot like game 2, where the Wolverines again dropped into an early hole but tried to fight their way back. Game 2, the hole was just too deep. See what happens here in game 3. Ooh, little trickery. Nice defense. Williams with a great dig. Back spiked from Fielder. Into the corner. Try to use the block. Williams again putting her body on the floor. And the set was just a little bit too in front of Karen Chase. She couldn't do much with that. Not many people could. And Purdue getting the ball back. Cesniak swinging around to the right side. She was 2 for 2 from that spot. But this time the Boilermakers got up. And for their efforts, we'll give them a point. 8-11. Michigan trails. Paul waits the whistle, gets the whistle. Sends it in the direction of Janine Cesniak. Karen Chase blows it right by.
Brent, what do you see the Boilermakers doing different these last 2 games? Because in the first game, Michigan got them.
Well, I think it starts with their receive of serve. In the first game, they were having a hard time handling the serves. Their frontline passing was a little weak, and it's really, I mean, you take your setter out of the game when that happens. The setter wants to be able to get under the ball, set their feet, and make a nice crisp pass to the hitter. Problem was, Purdue wasn't able to do that because their backline passing was ineffective. What they've done a lot differently, though, to stop the Michigan offense is they've just started taking away the line. Michigan was eating up the white line in the first game, and they're getting up. Their timing is a lot better in this game, and they're just taking the line away. They got the double block. One's blocking line, one's blocking angle. Getting their hands up and keeping them together. There's not much you can do. They have been leaving the middle of the court open on the left-hand side. That is one thing I noticed. And Karen Chase found it a couple times. And Poglitz looked for it there. But they weren't able to do so. And Purdue up 12-8. And this is pretty much exactly what we saw the last time. They went up 14-10. Michigan came back with 2, and then Purdue ended it. Now it's 13-8. And right Michigan's got to go on a 7-2 run or else they're in deep trouble.
Yeah, a long time ago.
This kind of reminds me of that scene when he was in Texas, and he was on the payphone, and he said, "I'm in Texas," and Dottie, who was in the bike shop on the other line, said, "I don't believe you," and he goes, "No, really, watch," and he sings like "The Stars at Night," and then "Are Big and Bright," and then everybody started clapping and goes, "Deep in the Heart of Texas." I get the same feeling whenever I hear people just join in with the Hail to Victors. It's kind of amusing. I mean, that and the Star Spangled Banner are two of the only songs that you can just start singing and somebody will join in with you. Voted greatest fight song in the nation by USA Today, though. I think it had something to do with an email flood that was circulating last year. Those of you who got the forward know what I'm talking about. And Janice Sesniak really doesn't care what I'm talking about because her team's down by 5. And it's her job to get them back into this by putting some serves down. She did have an ace in the first, earlier in the match. I think it was game 2. Oh, my! Oh my! Beautiful spike. That was just perfect, and Michigan just was unprepared for that.
I think they talk junk after they do something like that.
No. And as a matter of fact, I've been listening, and they don't. They just turn around, congratulate each other, and that's about it. Great sportsmanship. Quick set, crawl over the net, and Purdue sets it up again. Good block by the U of M front line. Nice D. That was a tough one to handle. But Poglitz hits it long. She's had a little bit of problems with that today. She's been going deep a lot and just getting a little bit too much air under her ball. She's got to snap her wrist on the overswing.
She's trying to time the wire. Get that one.
I did get that one. That one I got. No, what Poglitz has to do is she's got to snap down. She's hitting the ball with an open hand. She's just not getting the wrist snap to give the ball the topspin. That got the line. See if they give it to her. They did. Great play from Maxwell. Maxwell painted the corner. She didn't have much room either side of it. She took the line. Nice job by Maxwell, and now she gets to serve. To give up another point. They are trailing 8-14. Off the block. Side out. It's his game point. It's a pivotal point. No, pivotal is in the fact that my prediction holds true. If Purdue gets this one, you can pretty much cancel game 4 because they're just going to win it. I know it's a pessimistic attitude, but just one of those feelings I get. I've been wrong before. That's game point. Big time hit from Kruppa, and there was nothing Sesniak could do about that. And at the end of 3 games, Purdue leads the Wolverines 2-1, winning game 3 15-8. And what happened is Michigan just dug themselves too big of a hole. They were down 7 early, and they just couldn't fight their way back. End up losing by 7, 15-8. We'll be back with game 4 momentarily. out to the paid attendance, 478. I counted 462, so I think I missed 16 people. Might have been in the bathroom.
You're forgetting about us up here.
116 of us up here. There's 4 under the direct supervision of Gregory Stern. Greg, a junior here, studying sports management and communication at the Division of Kinesiology. He's an intern over at Fox 2. He has a husky named Phoenix, and he's gay. Set to get underway, pivotal game 4. This game is brought to you by Spam. Spam, whenever you want a serious gut check, because that's what time it is for the Wolverines. It's gut check time. U of M has been having a big problem starting off in the last 2 games. They just get themselves into big holes and they just are unable to come back. They make a valiant effort, just the holes are just too deep.
Remember, if Purdue wins this game, or this match, remind me to get my football picks from you.
Actually, I'm 4-0 this year. I've only made 4 bets. But again, just to remind you, this is an intercollegiate event, so please, no wagering. But there's Purdue with a quick side out, and again, the Wolverines having trouble starting. I know it's early, and I know it was 1 serve, but they need to establish some momentum and just carry it through in order to survive Game 4, because again, they are 1 game away from elimination in this match. Sesniak from the 8-foot line puts it into the twine, and Purdue takes an early 1-0 lead. And a service error for Purdue. It's their first one since game 1. And Rob, you asked me earlier about what the difference was in the 2 teams. Before I mentioned the service, hang on a second. This looks like it has some potential. Off the net, off the block, side out Michigan. That gives them a point. But after the first game, the stats look like this. Purdue's kill percentage was a measly 163, and Michigan was over 300. You look after 3 games of play, Purdue at 226, Michigan dropped down to 208. So there's the difference in the games right there. And for Michigan, it's just been some attack errors. They had 15 of them so far in 3 matches. That's 5 per game. And it just has been happening that they've been happening at the wrong times, and it gives Purdue a point rather than just the side out. But those are things that you can control. Sesniak, great play to put that one over. And Colangelo off the left arm of Karen Chase. Out of bounds off the block. And Purdue gets another point.
Michigan really hasn't established any momentum since the first game.
No touch. Damn, I was wrong. But Purdue again, 3-1. Didn't look like a touch. It looked like that was just a deep shot. I don't know who got a fingertip on it. But Purdue's the beneficiary of that one. 3-1 they lead it. Karen Chase off the block, out of bounds. Side out Michigan. Chase's 17th kill tonight. She's killing at a pretty high percentage. She's up over 350, which would be good enough to win the American League batting title. Great defensive play in the corner by the Wolverines. Cesniak tosses that one over. Colangelo from the corner, wide open court. Couldn't find a spot to put it down. Cesniak from 8 feet puts it back. Colangelo with the set. Hennigan into the corner. Michigan doing a good job standing their ground in the back court. But Purdue not too shabby themselves either. Dink. Michigan trying to set something up. And Cesniak called for a double hit. Happens every now and then to the best of setters, and it happened right there to Janine Cesniak. She's been playing a fine game thus far. That's pretty much her first mistake on the setting end of it. She's been doing a great job keeping the Wolverine hitters swinging for the fences. And Michigan gets the ball back quickly, still trailing 3-1. They're just trying not to let this game get away from them like the last two. Lindsay Ebert holds the ball, and she puts it in play. Quick set, into the corner, off the block, side out Purdue. Hennigan's been one of the stars for the Purdue Boilermakers. Colleen Hennigan, she's only made 2 kill errors tonight, 11 kills. Ouch! Emke couldn't get that one. And Cesniak from the blue mat puts it in play. Quick set, quick point. Side out Purdue. Emke put that one right where it had to be. And a great set from Taryn Catlin. And she borrows the referee's towel. Is that legal? Borrowing someone else's towel?
That's a good question. I don't know. Let me look at the official college volleyball rulebook, see if it says something.
Williams puts it in play. Deep. Purdue with a point.
Article 8, Rule 5B. Opposing players cannot borrow the towel of other teams to mop up their sweat.
That's disgusting. Quick back. Fielder. Nice job keeping the ball in play. And that one's put down by Nicole Kaser. Kaser's first kill. Came at a good time. Stopped the Purdue momentum. Joanna Fielder to serve. Down 1-4. Hennigan. Cross court. Triple with a shot. Catlin puts it over on the second hit. Michigan pushes the ball across. Net violation, Boilermakers. And that'll give Michigan a freebie, 4-2. Net violation. The players are not allowed to touch the net at any time. And I guess one of the Purdue players scrubbed it. It happens. But it just prevents players from jumping across the line, jumping into the net, pulling the net down. The net stands alone. Pushed over. Michigan gains possession. Quick play, nice job. And the Wolverines get another point, 4-3. They're starting to make a comeback here in Game 4. ball back with a 4-3 lead. Leading 2-1. They're trying to make it a happy bus trip back to West Lafayette. How long is the drive to West Lafayette from here?
Right about 5 hours, I guess.
Well, they're trying to go home happy. Michigan with a side out. Fielder serving from the corner. Up front, down. Bev Kruppa. She's been murderous up at the front line, and now she gets to serve. Again on Purdue, and that ties the score at 4 apiece. And the motivation for Michigan is prove Brent wrong. Make it go to game 5. Backline quick set. Lindsay Ebert again putting the 2-ball down. Michigan takes the lead, and this is the first time they've held the lead. Oh, it's 4-4. Sorry, I thought they had the lead, but it would be the first time they've held the lead since game 1, when they finished 15-6. I'll be back with you in 45 seconds. Wolverines looking for their first lead since game 1. Purdue not letting them find it. Kruppa from Catlin. And Emke trying to go up on the Wolverines. Short serve. And that's what kills you right there. Wolverines will take it. And Karen Chase, who's been the hero at the front line, tries to do it in the backcourt. Nice block in the front corner. Again, a good block, but that one's out of bounds. And the Wolverines give up another side out to the Boilermakers. This is Amy Colangelo. Colangelo's done a great job up at the front court as well, leading the team in kills. I think Rob said it all. I don't think you could have heard him. But that ball was put down, and all he said was, wow. And it was a wow. That ball had some movement on it. Found the line, made a beeline for it, and put it down, and that's Nicole Kaser. She's got a powerful right hand. Off the net, kept alive, and Michigan got themselves a point, and they've got themselves the lead, 5-4. Let's see if they can build on this.
Michigan finally has the lead. Let's see if they can do anything with it.
We'll find out. art department work fast here at Cliff Keene. Colangelo with the set. And that one's heading in the direction of the crowd. Ran down by Chase. Good thing I didn't say chase down by Chase, huh? And Sarah Emke puts it to the ground. And the Boilermakers get the serve back. And they're looking to take the lead back as well. Colleen Hennigan. She's been serving when the Boilermakers have gone on their runs the past 2 games. Wolverine's trying to set up some defense. Staring at a 2-1 deficit as far as the match is concerned. But they're looking at a 5-4 lead here in game 4. Deep ball. And that's a point for Purdue. It's what I was talking about earlier. Wolverines having a lot more kill errors than they did the first game. And as a result, the Boilermakers are just capitalizing on some easy points. And again, unforced error by the Wolverines. Boilermakers are just capitalizing on the Wolverines' mistakes. They're not blocking for points. They're not killing for points. They're just sort of taking the points Michigan gives them. Nice block by Emke. And as a result, quick point. And it's 7-5. And again, for some reason, Colleen Hennigan is just the catalyst that the Boilermaker needs. When she serves, they score. It's a backcourt error. And Coach Dionisi is not a happy man.
Happy, I wouldn't want to be on that bench right now.
Well, 8-5, game 4 here on WOLV. We'll let you listen to the band. I hope you like Elton John. Still serving. Wolverine still trailing. Quick serve. Wolverines go back to the corner. And Hennigan is able to make the dig on the tough spike, but it goes out of bounds. And now Cesniak trying to put the Wolverines back into this game. Nice block by the front line. Emke with the spike. Krupa on that one. Great dig from the corner. Cesniak from the back line. And Krupa again. Very violent out there on the left side. Here is Emke, or Williams, excuse me. She replaced Emke. She's set to serve. She floats one over, trickles gently, and that one went down a lot harder, but unfortunately, it was Purdue that knocked it there. They lead it 9-5. The Wolverines look beaten on their side of the court. They got to get something going. If you notice, they just don't have the same spring that they did in game 1. They're just a little bit more lackadaisical. Their timing's a little off. big rally and a side out. They can make another run. So the game ain't over yet. It's only 5-10. Williams serves another floater across the net. Corner. Credit the Purdue front line. They've been able to get up in the face of the Wolverines. But Nicole Kaser puts that one down again, and now she gets the ball back, set to serve. She's a freshman from Chicago, and as we discussed earlier, Rob has been there. It's a big city. That one's long. The Wolverines get a point, and they're trimming the lead ever so slightly, 10-6. Just need a little run here to put this game back. The Wolverines can get within one, get half of it, get a little bit of it back here, get a side out, get a little bit more back. We'll talk later. Because right now Purdue's serving. Wolverines into quick side out. They don't want to give back the point they just earned. Turn Catlin, done a great job setting. Now she's going to try her hand serving. Throws and goes. And Hennigan shouldn't have played that one. Ball was heading long. The Wolverines catch a break, and now they got a side out. And Joanna Fielder's serving. Swing and a miss by Paul. 10-7. Wolverines marching back. Fielder, still serving. Wolverine front line. Pittenger, Ebert, and Chase. And Krupa, rare mistake on the left side. Wolverines get another point. They only trail by 2. And Purdue checks it, calls a timeout, and says, you know what, we gotta talk. So they talk. We can only speculate as to what they're saying. I don't think it's going to be about what movie they watch on the bus.
I'm a betting man. I say that if Michigan pulls this one out, they're going to win the match. What do you think? Momentum on their side going into the final game.
Tough to come back from 2 games down, but this team is definitely talented enough to do it. You saw that in game number 1 as they handed Purdue an easy loss. They just murdered them. And all Michigan has to do is just play their game. They've been beating themselves so far. Couple of mental mistakes here, couple of kill errors here, couple of service errors there. Before you know it, you're down 2-1 and trailing in the 4th. Oh, no question the Wolverines are a more talented team than the Boilermakers, without question. But you just got to play up to their potential. And they're doing that now as they're fighting their way back. Once trailed by 5, now they only trail by 2. See how the Boilermakers come out of the break. Come out swinging.
She just lost her footing.
Krupa's just been murderous. Said it once before, she's a violent femme out there. And Krupa. Waits the whistle. She awaits it. She gets it. She serves it. To Karen Chase and Colangelo again. Great play by Hennigan. Great spot. Boilermakers find a hole. They fill that hole. The Wolverines trailing 8-11. And I hate to say it, but games 2 and 3 and now 4 have looked strikingly similar. It's like we could have tape recorded the second game and just replayed it. In fact, we did tape record the second game, but we just can't replay it. Nice spot. Wolverines try to dink it. Great dig. And Colangelo puts it back quickly and caught the Wolverines on their heels.
Get back in time for that one. She made a great dig.
It was a great dig. But Colangelo made a great play on the front line. And Purdue, after the timeout, comes out fired up, and it's 8-12. We've seen this before. Look at me.
Gonna take that off.
Look like I'm up in Miami Vice. Yeah, we're a 5-meter. $100. Give me a Twizzler. Bet you $100 I can throw it into the megaphone and they have the guy have it on. I'd bet $100 on it. I did it once before. Da 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 da. Boilermakers, 3 points away from match victory. Great block from Colangelo and Paul again. They've been the Twin Towers over there on the right side for Purdue. And Hennigan, vicious spike. And Purdue can smell victory. Personally, I smell the pretzel that's sitting right underneath my nose that I haven't been able to eat. It's probably hard now. It was once a soft pretzel and hot. Sight gag, you know, it's just 13-8. Wolverines backs against the wall. And Bev Kruppa still serving. She's got 3 in a row, looking for numero 4. Cuatro for you Spanish-speaking compadres. Free ball. And Purdue puts it back onto the ground, and now we're facing match point. 14-8. Wolverines got to stand firm. Kruppa just has to do what she's been doing and put it in. Looking for it to get in play. Turn out the lights, the party's over. And Amy Colangelo and Connie Paul blocked for the victory. And it is only fitting because they were part of the reason that Purdue was able to come back. They took away the outside, which is what Michigan exploited in the game 1. And they managed to win games 2, 3, and 4 after dropping the first. They win game 4, 15-8. And a hard-fought battle. The Wolverines will hang their heads with this loss, but they look ahead to Illinois. As Rob mentioned, it's their first loss against an unranked opponent today to Purdue. But they just have to regroup and come out strong tomorrow night. A lot of mental errors on the Michigan side, but Purdue can go home happy. They played a solid game, and they're going home victorious. So the Cliff Keen Arena crowd heads to the exits. We're going to head to the power supply and turn it off, because that ends the broadcast here in WOLV. For everybody here at the station, just want to thank you for joining us. My name's Brent Leader, and have a good day. Adios.